Hey, Fee. I pulled together this little presentation of information I found out about what women should wear according to the Bible. And the way it looks, there's not a whole lot that says it's a universal code for women when you look at the scriptures. It's now what we do find are timeless principles, modesty, humility, gender distinction, holiness, and propriety. And these principles guide how believers present themselves in every culture. Now, in First Timothy 2 9 through 10, Paul instructs women to dress with modesty and self control. This was written to believers in Ephesus, a wealthy Roman city where clothing was used to show off status. Paul wasn't banning the specific items, he's addressing the vanity and the classism. The focus is on the heart behind the clothing. And then in First Peter 3 uh, and 4, he echoes a similar idea. In the Roman world, women were judged heavily by appearance. Peter redirects attention from outward beauty to the hidden person of the heart. The emphasis is on character and not the cosmetics. Then in Deuteronomy 22 and 5, this verse is about not wearing the clothing of the opposite sex, and it's often misunderstood. In ancient Israel, men and women both wore robes like garments, but with different cuts and accessories. The purpose of this law was to protect gender distinction and avoid pagan cross dressing rituals, like some you've seen in some movies and everything. It was not to address modern clothing categories like pants, because pants weren't even around then. Isaiah 3:16 and 24, Yah rebukes the daughters of Zion for pride and arrogance. There's a long list of jewelry and accessory that isn't condemned because of the items themselves, but because of the attitude behind them. The issue is vanity, not fashion. And then, we got Proverbs 31. That's the virtuous woman. And she wears fine linen and purple, expensive, dignified clothing. And this shows that scripture doesn't forbid beauty or quality. Her clothing reflects dignity, wisdom, and provision, not vanity. So, the summary of all this is across biblical cultures, clothing communicated status, wealth, gender, and morality. Women were often judged by their appearance, and the biblical writers consistently redirect attention from outward display to inward character. None of these passages create a universal dress code. Each addresses something specific that cultural issues of that particular time. So when we look at how we should apply it now, the principles remain pretty much the same. Stick with modesty, humility, gender distinction, and holiness. But cultural expressions vary. What counts as modest or feminine changes by culture or denomination. That's why in apostolic and Pentecostal groups, they apply these passages differently. The key is honoring the timeless principles while understanding the cultural content. Then, like now, clothing made a statement. Women were judged by the garments they wore. Their clothes indicated their social status, whether they were married or single, if they were mourning the loss of a loved one, if they were following Yah or rejecting him. But Yah isn't as concerned about our clothing as he is about our heart. May we adorn ourselves with a spirit of kindness, meekness, and gentleness, and seeking after Yah rather than trying to impress men. I hope this helps you, Fee.